Yeah, this is Ken Ferrie with this week's edition of Boots in the Field. Taking a look at what I saw last week. Last week I was in Illinois for a little while, but also traveling. Spent some time in northern Ohio. Crops out there, as far as the corn goes, better than I expected. Due to the dry weather that they experienced, I thought we would get into some tougher corn. It's going to be more like average corn or slightly above average. And not that far behind either. They're about 25 days out from black layer to 15 days, so they're moving along in pretty good shape. One thing we did see in northern Ohio was more sudden death in the soybeans than I've seen out there in the number of trips that I've made out there over the last 15 years. We crossed Indiana and went into Iowa and look at the corn in the central part of Iowa. There too, better corn than I expected due to the amount of rain that they had and the wind damage that they experienced earlier on in that part of the state. I would say above average yields, fields that we were in there as well. Due to the amount of goosenecking and stuff, there may be some harvesting issues for them. We traveled up to north central Iowa. Definitely north central Iowa and northern Iowa is probably some of the toughest corn from a yield perspective in the nation right now. From some pretty heavy-duty water damage to start the season out. You can definitely pick out the fields that were work wet, conditions pushed, and then they went into a long dry spell that put them under some drought stress as well. And up there, definitely going to be below average corn. This is the same area that had prevented plant last year. Eastern Iowa showing the heat stress or the drought stress from going just too long without water. So as I look at all the states in general, I would say Iowa's under the gun to produce an average crop when it comes to corn. Throughout the state, we saw more sudden death in Iowa than I've seen in a long time. Here in Illinois, definitely the sudden death fields have ramped up. The later maturing beans are starting to show a lot of problems with sudden death, meaning that I think our 3.6s to our 4.1 beans could be a little bit disappointing due to the amount of them that are fighting the sudden death. Earlier beans are going to probably slide through some of that in pretty good shape. Probably the big concern here in Iowa is the amount of stalk deterioration that we've seen in a week. Starting to see a lot of stalk quality issues. Some fields are already being harvested because of stalk quality issues. Now is the time to be out there scouting and starting to make your ABC list as far as which fields got to come out first, because they are fields coming apart pretty fast. Those fields that were green, the top of them turned yellow, and bam, they were dead in 3 days. A lot of them are experiencing either diplodia or gibberella stalk rot, and they're not going to wait for you. So get out there and start doing your scouting itself. Some of the early yields coming out in the south look pretty good right now. Heard from some of our guys that we work with down in the southern states, corn yields down there in Tennessee and Louisiana are average at best. Less corn down there than they thought. Beans are phenomenal. So there's some big bean yields coming out from the south, but the corn yields just went with too much water down there in the spring the way it looks. Next week, we'll probably start the plot harvest, and we'll start to have some numbers rolling in. The seed corn harvest is about half done. There again, seed corn harvest looks like it's only going to be average. No large seed yields on the seed corn that we've come across yet. So this crop is still a big crop. Don't let it get away from you, but it's time to start figuring out which fields go first. You got some of those fields in trouble. Watch for these early drying discounts or these elevators that are trying to fill early cells. Get that corn in there with the cheap drying and don't have to worry about it later. Till next week, we'll hope you have a good time and safe harvest. Thanks.